Hey guys, Geno Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land. Whatever part of the world that you are in, let us take a look at my sad state of a garden out here. This is my garden this year. It did not do well. We have had way too much rain and not very good growing temperatures. There's a couple of tomato plants that are doing okay. There's one there in the middle, and then there's one down there at the end of that center row that are doing okay, but two tomato plants is not going to make a pantry full of, tomatoes and salsa and tomato sauce. So we've been hitting up some of the farmers markets and trying to do some bartering for rabbits and those other kind of things that we can try to increase without having to buy anything from the store, using stuff that we have still to try to trade for things from the farmers markets. But even our local gardening dudes and our local farmer dudes are having a hard time, and their produce is kind of scarce and it's not real good. This is a very difficult gardening year for lots of folks over the entire country. A lot of us have been too wet and have lost our stuff, and a lot of us have been too dry and have lost our stuff. A lot of us have been too hot and lost our stuff. It just is what it is. Pepper plants, some of these plants are trying. You can see there's a couple of tomatoes on some of these plants. I mean, they're trying to live. They're trying to do what plants do. It's just they're not getting a lot of cooperation from anything. But we've had a couple of banana pepper plants that did real well, one tomato plant that did real well, and a few of our okra plants here in the middle are doing pretty well, but everything else has died and is not doing well at all. And it's just been a rough year, and it's I just can't look at my garden without having that thought in the back of my head, that music in the back of your head, wah wah wah. Nice try, but if this is one of them years where we had to completely depend on our garden, it would be slim pickings, and it would be a pretty rough winter coming, because we stock up for the winter time from our garden. Down there is one of our rabbit runs, one of our rabbit tractors. Got some grow outs going on in there. And this is our upper garden, and it did not do very well. Like I said, it's just it happens. You have good years and you have bad years, and this is just one of them years that wasn't so great, and we'll do the best we can to salvage what we can. There's a lot of tricks that you can do with your garden, but not a whole lot you can do when it rains every afternoon. It's the last couple of days have been dry, but there for 6 weeks. One of our weather dudes said we were 20 inches above our rainfall every day for at least 6 weeks. It rained at least a half an inch in the afternoon, and it's just been one of them years. Sometimes you have good years and sometimes you have bad years, but we'll salvage what we can from this garden, and just is what it is. So anyway, we'll go look at the lower garden. Now, that may be a little hard to see because they like to hang out in the shade down there in their box when it's really hot like this, but there's our bigger, smaller chicks. They're just now starting to get all their adult feathers, and they're getting ready to move out into the grow out pen here real soon. We got some other ones that we're getting ready to process, and then as soon as we do that, we'll be moving these out to the big grow out pen. And we've got some other smaller chicks that we'll show you here directly. Here's a quick peek at some of our chicks that we just hatched out last week, chicken chicks. And I need to clean out their bottom there. But good looking, healthy little chicks. So far so good. Gotta love baby peepers, man. Everybody loves biddies. And there's some of ours. And later on this afternoon, when it cools down a little bit, when the sun goes down, I'm going to change out their little wee pads in there that we use for the bottom of their brooder. And but so far so good. We got 11 out of 12 that we put in the incubator, so that's pretty good. We plan on every couple of months trying to put a dozen eggs in the incubator and hatch us out some replacement laying hens, and then the roos and the roosters will be used for our meat source. So every couple of months we can do a dozen, and that'll be a good rotation, I think, for us. So yeah. Plus we have some friends who are going to start laying flocks, and we're going to be giving them some hens. So we're trying to raise up a few more hens so that they can get a good laying flock established. These are, most of them are dark Cornish Salmon Faverolles breed. They're a cross, and they're going to be, I think they're going to be a pretty good bird. It should be a good dual purpose bird anyway. So anyway, there's a peep at the little bitties. Okay, we had a couple of questions about our eggs. This is a pheasant egg. It's about, you know, roughly half the size of our normal chicken egg that we usually get. This is from a hen, some of the hens that are just now starting to lay. These are the smaller chicken eggs that we get when they first start laying. Like I say, these are normally what we get as far as eggs go. You know, they're a good size egg. Then every once in a while, you get a 3-inch egg, man. Holy crap, this is a big egg. There it is in the palm of my hand. It's not a turkey egg. It comes from a chicken. And you know, there's a, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed out there in the flock, we got that one hen that has the tattoo of an anchor on her leg and wears a leather vest, and she'll be like, bagok. She's the one, I believe. Either that or it's the velociraptor that we have running around out there. I don't know. But anyway, there's some of our eggs. Somebody want to know how many yolks will be in this thing. I guess we'll find out here. This might be a double yolker, and it is. Excellent. We like double yolk eggs. Of course, we don't like the shell in there. There we go. A double yolker. Man, that was a big egg. This one here is probably not a double yolker. These ones here is probably going to be, yep, just a big single yolk, which is okay too. So anyway, pheasant eggs, they taste just like chicken eggs, but they're about half the size. And then these are the normal size of the normal eggs that we get. They're roughly around 2 inches or so. Every once in a while you get a smaller one from the new hens. So there you go. There's some egg questions. Alrighty, there's a look at our Buff Orpington roosters that we are soon going to be processing. They've grown up nicely. Buff Orpington is, I do believe, a really good dual purpose bird. So I had a question about that earlier. There's the squash patch down there. The plants themselves went crazy, but with it being in the lower area, it's still, after a couple of days of being dry and in the sun, it's still muddy. There's a lot of flowers, but there's not a lot of squash, and a couple of them plants are actually starting to die out. And I'm not quite sure what's going on with it, but we'll get a few acorns and a few butternuts, and it'll be okay, but it's not going to be the bumper year that I was having, that I was hoping to have. Just too much water has done its damage. You know, when the damage is done, the damage is done, and I don't know any way to stop making it rain. And then right here we've got these 2 boxes are full of potatoes, which I'll be digging soon. And I don't know, man, we'll see what happens. I've heard some horror stories from some of the old timers that that they've had, you know, their potatoes just rotten in the ground, and hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see. So far I dug a couple of them up and they've been okay, but you know, time will tell whether or not they're going to be good or not. So also over here in our pheasant pen, we have a place out by, it's called Grandview, that it's a couple places that are like insurance salvage yards, where like if a truck crashes or something, they can get the stuff that was in there at a discount price. And I picked up these little 4.5-foot fake Christmas trees for $5 a piece, because everything that I tried to plant in there died. They would dig it up and chew on it, and oh, look at that, there's some pheasant porn for you. Sorry about that. Wow. So anyway, these little fake Christmas trees, they won't die, and it gives them a little bit of cover. Since they are a game bird, they like to have the cover, and oftentimes I come out here now and the birds are sitting underneath the trees, which is a good thing. And we've even put a couple of them into our grow out pen here. These are grow out pheasants. You can see there's one, I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not, sitting underneath the tree there. They just kind of like to have that cover that they can hunch down in. Hi, paper dudes. And it makes them feel a little more secure, a little more safe, and keeps them from being, you know, freaked out all the time. At least they have a way that they can feel protected, and that's a good thing. So far these little fake Christmas trees are working out, and who knows, maybe even come Christmas time, if I can figure out a way to run a battery and a solar panel, I may even turn the lights on during the Christmas season. You never know. Let's go see if we can find Porkchop here and get down the hill without falling down. There she is. There's Porkchop. Hi, sweetie pie. She's probably getting close to about 300 pounds now. Hi, pretty girl. What are you doing? Oh, goodness. Yes, that's my sweetheart. And she is just a good addition, man. She's really docile. We spend a lot of time with her and love on her. But she's turning into a really good-looking hog. And it won't be long, and we'll be trying to think about breeding her. We're going to artificial inseminate her. That way we don't have to deal with a boar hog. And so far, so good. Hi, Porkchop. Hi, pretty girl. Yeah, that's my pretty girl. Good girl, Porkchop. She's pretty smart. She's pretty smart. You know, like I say, we've trained her for a couple of things. If she's doing something she shouldn't be doing, I can yell no at her, and she knows that, you know, to stop what she's doing. And it's been a pleasure. She's pretty smart. I'm kind of I've always heard that hogs were smart, but now I see it with my own eyes. And yeah, they can be trained to not you know, root under the fence and stuff like that. You can teach them, and just like a dog, teach them basic commands, and that's worked out. The new addition to the barn, very happy with it. We're starting to do some work on the inside, and once we get that all done and set up, we'll make a quick update video about that. There's the dude that's making all the noise, Sammy. And it looks like there's a piece of paper that blew in there. Better get that out of there. But anyway, he's the one that's been making all the noise. That's our rooster, Sammy. He's a salmon Faverolles. What are you doing, man? Give me that. Yeah, I'm eating on that. But he's a salmon Faverolles rooster. He's a really good bird, and he's a good rooster, and we're happy with him. And then, of course, there's some new additions. There's the Buff Orpington hens that we moved over. And yeah, we have a lot of laying hens. We have a pretty big laying flock. But keep in mind, we do the best that we can to supply folks up and down the creek with eggs. The ones that don't have chickens, or the elders who are just too old to raise chickens anymore. We try to do the best we can to make sure that they have eggs. There's a little bit, or a female goat. Hi, a little bit. She's a good-looking goat. She's fun to have around too. She's not super friendly, unless you have one of them little goat cookies for a treat. If you do, then she'll be a friend. Most of the time, she doesn't like it. So anyway, there's a quick home place update. I hope all is well with you guys out there in YouTube land. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your time hanging out with us out here and watching us progress. It really means a lot to me. And, you know, we'll keep doing what we do. So you guys have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much for watching. God bless. Me in. Buzz, buzz, the end.